Welcome back. Social workers managing Gauteng non-profit organizations are deeply disturbed by the Social Development Department's move to reduce their funding. The department issued a statement to funded NPOs advising that their allocations will be cut. Newzroom Afrika's Zola Sholwana reports.
Gauteng care crisis social workers are concerned about a provincial social development statement pointing to the reduction of funding for non-profit organizations. The wording has created anxiety among NPOs that rely on government funding.
The Gauteng provincial estimates of revenue and expenditure released shortly after the announcement of the budget at the beginning of the month indicate that 223 million rand will be cut from NPO services in the province at the start of April. These are services to people with disabilities, to child protection services, to child and youth care centres, to drop-in centres which provide orphan and vulnerable children with after-school care as well as providing them with meals, shelters for domestic violence, and a range of other services are all going to have less than they did last year. If we take into account that the DSD also cut 172 million rand from organisation services in 2023-24, then it means that services to vulnerable people in this province had been reduced by 395 million.
These NPOs provide services to the disabled, abandoned children and the elderly.
A centre, a residential facility that caters for people with cerebral palsy, the physically and mentally challenged. Some have Down syndrome, some are autistic, and we even have HIV/AIDS children and muscular dystrophy. So where will these children go? Most of them are abandoned. They've got no family. The ones that have got family, we haven't seen them for many years. We're trying to trace them, but it's just impossible. So, we'll be all on the street, including the staff.
If there's no funding, the community is going to lose very important services to the children, to the families. We render a generic service. Our organisation is not only rendering services to children, although we're a child welfare organisation. But in 1996, we agreed with the Department of Social Development that we would render services to disabled people, the elderly, people who have drug addictions or substance addictions. So whoever is in our area, we will render a service to no matter what.
In response to this, Gauteng Social Development MEC Mbali Hlophe has rubbished these claims.
The Gauteng Department of Social Development hereby indicates and dispels all notions that there are budget cuts towards NPOs. We've never announced such a thing. Unfortunately, this rumor is propelled by a so-called researcher called Lisa Fenton, who is working together with the DA, who are intentionally in a desperate plight to try and create discontent towards the governing party. We are taking the matter up legally so that they must be able to prove where they get such information, to the extent that they are creating a lot of anxiety amongst our NPOs.
Non-profit organizations that rely on government for funding say the budget cut might force them to close their doors and the vulnerable will suffer the most. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I am Zola Sholwana at Springs in the East Rand.